Alright, so this is Dataset8. This is velocity versus mass per unit length. Okay. So in the first column, I'm going to put mu.
Is it this one?
Mu is later. Have a good one.
Where are you on right now?
Where's mu?
30.
Mu should be in here. I think it's called lowercase. Mu. There it is. That's called mu. That symbol's mu. And I guess it means, okay, so mu is mass per unit length. Mass per unit length. Again, the symbol would be mu.
You guys are here 3, right?
And the units would be kilograms per meter. The other column is velocity. V, that's meters per second. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So I'm going to put the numbers in now. I've got 0.005, 0.005. My next one
You don't know how to.
is
You don't know. How to,
I know.
Okay. Okay. All you need to do now is that since I.
my next one is 0.025.
You can put in the plug. So you
The
can
next
put
one
in a
is
USB right now.
0.04.
I need a USB.
My next one is 0.06.
Starting the rest of my homework.
My next one is 0.08. My next one is 0.1. My next one is 0.15. And for velocities, I've got 200. Then I've got 141. Then I've got 89.4. Then I've got 70.7. Then I've got 57.7. And I've got 50.
Screencast it. You want it to screencast right now?
Then I've got 44.7.
Okay.
Then I've got 36.5. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Oh, it's a beautiful inverse. So let's linearize it by taking the inverse of our mass per unit length. So data, new calculate column. 1 over mu. I'll just use the symbols here, it's a lot easier.
So
1 over mass per unit length. Actually, alright, mass
Put in your password.
length. And my units are going to be 1 over kilograms over meter. So it's really going to be meters over kilogram, I think. Yeah. Meters per kilogram. So 1 over mass per unit length. Done. And now I copy, paste in the graph, Apple R. Change this to 1 over mass per unit length. Okay, and that's a side opening parabola, I believe. Let me see here. Is that a side opening parabola? So yeah, this shape does seem to fit a side opening parabola. If I look on the worksheet, on the handout, on the summary sheet. So my strategy is going to be to make another graph. Control C, Control V, Apple R. Now I have 3 graphs. This time I want to go data, new calculated column, and I'm going to square my vertical axis. So I'll call this velocity squared, V superscript squared, and the units will be, put this in parentheses, meters per second, and then I'll superscript it squared, and then I'll choose velocity. Whoops, it didn't work. Try that again. And I'll do caret 2. Okay, and I should probably make this a little little bigger. And then I'll spread out my, yeah, something like that. I'll move this guy over. There we go. Move this guy over. And I'll move this guy over. And hopefully that'll linearize it. It'll take velocity squared. Ooh, that looks pretty good. So let's bring this guy here, put a best fit line, and now I'd be able to write an equation for all of my graphs. We'll put this over here. Insert text, and my equation's going to be velocity squared equals about 200. And then I'll leave out the units because they're on the graph. 200 1 over mass per length. See if I can make this a little nicer. Let's see how to make this smaller. It's okay. Velocity equals, I'll move this down, mass per unit length minus 6 meters per second squared. So there it is. There's my equation. So I could take out that 1. I could put that there. No, that won't work. That goes here. There, now it's correct. So it's 200 over 1 over mass per unit length minus our 6 meters per second squared. Let's see, I could probably block this all in and it would make more sense. So I'll put a bracket there, and I'll put a bracket there just to isolate that. Anyway, that's about it. And I can move this guy over there. And that would be Dataset 8 velocity per versus mass per unit length.